Hey, what's up, everybody? I have a short video here that I just want to make you aware of. Today, I came across an article, and I've seen this kind of under the radar, but it seems like it's starting to get a little wind behind it. CFPB, Consumer Finance Protection Bureau, their funding mechanism is under scrutiny. It looks like that if this does not go through with them, where they say that this is a legitimate way for that organization to be funded, which is through the Federal Reserve and also through the fines that they receive from companies, that they will end up having to disband this department of the federal government. Now, so the Supreme Court is going to hear this case. They said that they're going to hear it in the ninth month. But let me just give you a little bit of the background on why this whole thing even came up. It says that the U.S. Supreme Court will consider whether the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau's funding system is constitutional. Taking up a case President Joe Biden's administration says is casting doubt on every action taken by the agency over 12 years. Now, for them to state that casting doubt on every action taken by the agency for over 12 years, that's a huge statement. I don't want to let that go by. The showdown centers on a never enforced payday lending rule that the Fifth U.S. Circuit of Appeals threw out and in the face of an industry challenge. The Fifth Circuit said the CFPB, which gets funding through the Federal Reserve, was set up in violation of the constitutional provision that requires a congressional appropriations for government spending. And it says here, the Supreme Court indicated Monday that it will consider the case in the ninth month term that starts in October, declining the administration's request to put it on an expedited schedule. So you can see here, this is the proof. They're being hit from two directions, actually. One direction is that there is a group of senators and U.S. representatives who state that they believe that this is like layering of the federal government, and that it is a department that other departments and agencies in the federal government that are already set up would be doing this work right here. So they want it just strictly just take it away so we don't have another expense with our federal government. That's one area that they're aiming at. And then you have this here where you have businesses that are pointed at them saying, hey, you're not even set up. This is not a constitution. Like they're sidestepping the wrong that they could have done, maybe done, allegedly done, and just going directly at the state, the CFPB, and saying that you don't even have the right to come at us this way. Your organization, your department is not even set up, constitutionally set up the way that our system has these departments to be set up. So it was that was like a real like they got some good attorneys that are not just looking at what's coming at them; they're looking at ways to counteract and to go back at the CFPB. And you could see that they threw out that lawsuit. So now let's look here. This is what's got a lot of people upset. Now, we've had our clients submit complaints about companies or debt collectors that would not do their job, would not make corrections if it came to the bureaus. We've had our clients submit through there before. I'll admit that the results maybe before COVID was a lot better than they are now. I've made videos. You can look up some of those. Just type in CFPB and you will see that I show you stats where it's went way down, and there's really the effectiveness of filing a complaint with CFPB has went down considerably, because I think what they're doing, and this is just my own opinion, is that they wait for a whole bunch of complaints for these corporations to build up, and then they make a decision on if they're going to go after them. But we can see that even with that decision-making process, that there's something afoot because there's certain cases that they haven't even went after when they should have. So, and that's just according to what the news article said. Now, consumers are upset because of a few things. The effectiveness of filing the complaints, nothing is really happening. That's why I always say you got to just put in that work and go straight at that company, just like you're doing a jab. Go straight at that company and go straight at the bureau, and you just keep jabbing until that job is done. Hard work is going to get it done. That's just the way it works. That's the way that everything really works with getting something done in life. The other side, though, that I believe really has people upset, and let's go through this here. These 3 boxes. So this box is what the Cfpb gets to keep. It says civil money penalties ordered as a result of the enforcement. 3.7. So this goes to them. PB. That goes to them. Now you got 192 million people that they've helped. That's a lot of people. 192 million people this is their estimated amount of consumers that are eligible for relief. That's a huge number. And then they got $16 billion in consumer relief. But this is why people are so upset. When you break that 192 million and you divide that into that 16 billion, this is how much money people were getting. $83. $83. I just had an individual that was with that got a check back from the American Credit Acceptance lawsuit. He got, I think this is true. He said he got $1.83. $1.83. $1.83 is what he got. That's not good, and that's why a lot of people are upset, because this is the path. People are complaining. They're complaining to the Cfpb. They complain, and then there's lawsuits, and then there's settlements. And a lot of people feel once the settlement is done that they've had that they've been victimized all over again. Because really the ones that the settlements, and I applaud them for these settlements when people got debt relief, where debt was just taken off the board, cars were taken, people were given their titles, the debt was taken away, auto debt deficiency was wiped away. But I think that people are very upset because what they're thinking is that, even though that's a big deal, and don't get me wrong on this, that is a huge deal if they take away a deficiency that you could have had to pay. I believe that that's a huge deal. But where people are very upset is that when they actually get a sum of money and a company has paid out millions of dollars and they're getting checks like $83 and $1.83, it kind of, a lot of people start to believe, and they say, was it all worth it? Was it all worth it? And at least that's the feeling that I get from customers that I know that were involved with the class actions, and they end up getting settlements, and they were like, was it all really worth it? And you do always have an option where you can take yourself out of the class action and you can go after the company individually, but it will cost money. And I think that's the thing that companies have in their back pocket, is that they know that if an individual is going to go after us, one-on-one, it's going to be very expensive for that individual, and it's going to, the chances are that they may not become victorious, or they can extend it out so long to where, the attorney fees that that individual is paying is, it's going to be exorbitant, and it's not going to be something that most people are going to want to stick through. So it makes it very tough. But I just wanted to make you aware of this, because this is something that we would say I think by December of next year or early 2024, we will know if the CFPB is going to be in existence. And my opinion on this, because they're being hit from several corners. And if we go back to what was stated here, before I end the video, I just wanted to go back to this here. It says here that the showdown, here we go right here. And you can go in, you can read this too. It says right here, the showdown centers, right here, showdown centers on a never enforced payday lending rule that the 5th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals threw out in the face of an industry challenge. The 5th Circuit said the CFPB, which gets its funding through the Federal Reserve, was set up in violation of the constitutional provisions that requires a congressional appropriations for government spending. So we see that part here, but what is in question here centers on a never enforced payday lending rule. Right here, this is what we got to investigate. This is what we got to investigate right there. The never enforced payday lending rule. I'm going to do a video on that. I'm going to find out what that is, so we can break that down, because that's very vague, because they talk about that and then they go into the the constitutional provision which requires a congressional appropriations for their funding. All right, so keep your eyes on that. I'm going to keep my eyes on it. I'm going to do a video on that payday loan, never enforced payday loan lending rule. All right, if you need help with your credit, please visit us at thecreditrepairshop.com. Watch the video, What Makes Us Different, so you can see my 8-point validation process, my 2-phase settlement process. If you need your credit reports and scores, go to my website, your3scores.com. Grab your TransUnion, Equifax, Experian credit reports. If you grab them from there, we will do a free review to let you know everything that you need to do to get your credit in order. Credit is the foundation of you being able to move forward and create wealth for you and your family. If you have debt collectors coming after you, grab my 3-pack of letters, statute of limitations, cease and desist collection activities letter, and the debt validation letter. Those 3 letters, I give you the instructions on there. They're free, but I do ask for a donation to help monetize my time here to make these videos. The statute of limitations letter, that is for debt that is past the legal statute of limitations to be able to collect. Yes, there are debt collectors that are still out there trying to collect debt that is past the legal statute of limitations to collect. This letter, this one letter, can stop debt collectors in their track, save you time, money, frustration. All 3 of them can save you time, money, and frustration. You just got to grab those letters and utilize them in the way that's instructed on the documents. Thank you for your time. Please subscribe to the channel, post your questions and comments. This is